Making your way through work Monday takes everything you got. Then Monday night rolls around and you realize there's a shot. You're only 10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our streets where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Welcome back to another episode of Dad Bod Fantasy Squad. I am here with Robbie. Bobby, what's up, dude?
Mario, how are we? We are so close. We are 2 days away from opening kickoff. I'm excited. It's here, baby. We made it.
We made it. Had some scarier news this week for everybody taking Kelsey, but
we'll get there.
Early signs are showing okay. They're showing okay. Hopefully it's just Thursday. But I'm ready, though. I am ready for football. Kansas City, Detroit should be a shootout.
We had some college games this week. I was watching all those, getting ready for the NFL. I'm excited, man. It's here. That's it. That's all I gotta say. It's here. We're ready to roll. We got all our stuff ready to go for the season. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's funny because I remember doing the podcast these summers, come July it took forever to get through August and get to game day. But doing this, it's sped up quite a bit. Yeah. I still know though that Thursday through Sunday is going to feel like forever. It's going to feel like forever.
Yeah. Because we're just doing the show on Sunday mornings. We'll have the Sunday morning episodes, and then are we still working out the rest of the week?
Yeah. Well, kind of, yeah.
We'll get it out there. Iron it out, but 3 shows during the week and then Sunday morning. But yeah, that gap from Friday, Saturday.
It's gonna take forever.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. At least we got a game Thursday night though.
I know.
It's only 2 days.
You get amped for that game, and then it's like, oh God, here comes a long way. You could watch college football, but
it is perfect though how they did. If you think of like, you got Monday, then you got Thursday, then you got Sunday. Like it's
spread out.
It's spread out enough where you're like, you get the itch, like just enough of an itch where you're like, damn, this Thursday night game sucks, but I'm still gonna watch it. Like it's still the NFL. You know.
I mean, last year, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. But hopefully they put some good Thursday night games this year.
Before we get into our episode, obviously, I already touched on this, but Kelsey hyperextended his knee.
Yeah, we can get into some news. Let's get into some
news. Go ahead, Robbie. Yeah.
Some stuff. As you said, Kelsey hyperextends the knee. Status to be determined. Like you said, the early news coming out of it seems good. They said no tear, nothing like that, but they are going to do an MRI. There's some people saying he might play if there's really no damage to it, but my guess would be he sits out at least week 1, and then we'll kind of reevaluate after that.
Tiff, I understand the advantage of Kelsey, and I like him. I expect a great year. This scares me, but I didn't get him in any draft. I didn't really like my teams in mock drafts where you would go Kelsey first.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have the opportunity to draft him in any one of my drafts. He was gone before every one of my picks. I do have him in Dynasty, so I'm not super excited about the news. And I think the bigger question, right, Mario, is this knee issue. He had knee concerns a long time ago. He had some knee issues a while ago, but now he's going on 34. So can he snap? That's the thing. Like, we haven't seen him come off an injury, and for, like you said, a very long time. So let's see. It's can he bounce back to normal Kelsey, or is this going to be a lingering issue the rest of the season?
Well, I think you're one thing that you're kind of, I don't want to say dismissive of, but it's not anything, nothing is confirmed on, and God forbid, because obviously he's one of the best and most fun people to watch in the NFL, but there's nothing that has necessary. They don't think he tore his ACL, and it's a very heavy emphasis on think, because they are going to do some additional tests. Jeez. And this has happened to, I can't remember whose tweet it was, but they kind of had the exact instance of like, this has happened to players before, like where they don't necessarily think it's ACL tear at first, but it ends up being. We did have a question here, and I don't know if you have these handy. I know we do our start sit tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
we'll make sure we discuss
noggin, do you have any?
I would say Hayden Hurst. I think you can get in a ton of leagues. I think he's an interesting streamer for this week just because he'll get the volume. If you can go get Noah Gray. I
think Noah Gray is a sneaky one too. And I've been seeing a lot of kind of say, don't do that. And I'm like,
no, I'm fine with it. I think he's good enough. I think he's good enough. I think, again, he likes to go to the tight end. They have a lot of plays implemented for the tight end position for Kelsey, but now that Kelsey's not there, it's going to go to Gray. He's proven that he can catch the ball, and if you're looking at the scraps on the weight, like if there's no one there,
if Jawan Johnson's there, he's a great plug.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Ferguson, those are two other ones that may be out in your waivers that I would think I would easily pick those up and stream them.
I think the good. It sucks saying, like, the good thing about it being even before the season starts really is a lot of teams
episode.
Yeah, a lot of the teams, like for me, right? Like for me and a lot of people I know, if you draft a tight end decently early, you're really not taking a second tight end. So there should be some options on the waiver wire for you to go get right now. Again, we'd have to kind of deep dive into it. I don't know what Higbee's kind of availability is out in the waivers, but if he's there, I'd snag him up. There should be a few options. And Albert, if you got a specific question on a couple players, send it to us and we'll get the answer to you.
Got Wilson in my last draft, and Pollard and Aaron Jones. Nice.
He's ready to roll.
I want to add on to this tight end thing here. One last piece. Because there's uncertainty. If you have somebody that's really disposable, and I'm not talking about anybody that has high upside or anything. I think Noah is worth an ad. I did it in our 14-team dynasty. Like, if this dude's out for a year, it's not even that I'm saying, hey, hold on to Noah, he'll be great. I think he's trade bait too. Yeah,
no, especially dynasty. Yeah, for sure. I don't hate the play. If you have someone that it's not gonna. If you have someone you're willing to get rid of, I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't get too crazy with that. Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Irv Smith is an interesting streamer too. I like that. As long as this happens, what Rob's about to talk about.
Burrow is trending to play week 1. By all accounts, it looks like he'll be a go against the Cleveland Browns. So I hate to hear it, but it's good we got him coming. Like, I'm happy to see him play. I'd rather beat them at full strength.
Yeah, I've been seeing there's possible shadows of Denzel Ward on Jamar Chase.
He's supposed to be
we want to see
week.
Ward is because of concussion. They said he has a chance to pass it though.
Yeah, it's going to be there's so many weird little injuries that are again, I feel like we're right in the middle of the season where it's like, well, we're going to have to wait till game time to see. Yeah, you got to pay attention to a lot of these. Like, Kittle got a groin, and there's a bunch of players that are just dinged up even before the season starts, which sucks. Sucks to see. Chris Jones holding out still looks like he will not. He's definitely not playing week 1, but who knows how long he will be out. I think this is a big loss to the defense. It's interesting to see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add here. I was surprised seeing Kansas City's defense as high as they were in fantasy.
Yeah, especially with this news, right? Like, you just don't know.
This is exactly how Kittle started the season last year too, by the way.
He always starts it. Colts backfield to be running back by committee. They said they're going to lean on the hot hand of the game. I love to hear it from
Is Moss out?
I don't think he's playing. He's
okay because his broken arm.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing. I don't know if he's on the PUP list, but I don't think he's playing week one at least.
I was about to say he's close to returning. I didn't know if you knew this.
Even if he's back
we're
for
talking
week
about
one,
Dion and
Dion and Evan Hall. Yeah. Even if Moss is back, I think it'll take him a few weeks to get, acclimated. So I like that from Evan Hall shares. I like to hear it.
Evan Hall is the one that you really kind of want. It's just
I think so.
All of them to roster is going to be difficult, especially not knowing what this offense looks like, not knowing how Anthony Richardson plays. Like it's just all going to be kind of a tough hold. You'll end up probably dropping them, but it's a good lottery ticket.
It's worth the lotto. Yeah, it's worth the lotto, especially just to see what happens week one and see how it's going to kind of play itself out. And then the big news of the weekend, Cooper Kupp visiting a specialist in Minnesota for the second hamstring strain. And you don't like hearing specialists for sure. So not ideal, but
nothing about it is ideal. The Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce teams are fully panicking right now. I mean, you don't sell him. I don't think anybody should sell Kupp. If you drafted him, you drafted him, and it just is unfortunate luck. I guess if the price is right though, but just don't let anybody lowball you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would take because especially not until you hear the news from the specialists, all that sort of stuff. They're saying he's going there to see why it re-aggravated. There could be other things involved with it that they might be able to fix and should be an easier kind of transition for him to get back on the field. But I mean, I told you, Mario, my draft over the weekend after the news came out, I took Cooper Kupp in the 3rd round. I feel like that's a steal. So even if I get 10 games of Cooper Kupp, I'm happy with it in the 3rd round.
Yeah. I responded with, I think I would have just avoided it altogether, but
you did.
We could save that.
Yeah, it's a debate, but I was feeling frisky, Had a couple claws in me. I was laying by the pool. I was ready to roll. It was Labor Day weekend. I was having a good time.
Those are the risks that I've been avoiding all off season. So I have stuck to it. And this time I would have Norton on my side because he would probably, I don't know about the 3rd necessarily, but he definitely always talks about like holdouts don't scare him. Injuries do. Both of them scare me.
Interesting. So this is, I was debating this when I was making this pick. I think it's an interesting debate to have with you and people that are in kind of a lot of fantasy leagues. So that's how I draft normally. Like you said, like I avoid those risky players. That's why I don't have any shares of Jonathan Taylor. I don't have any shares of Josh Jacobs throughout the season, preseason, and all that sort of stuff. But this one, I felt so comfortable with all my other teams that I was willing to take a swing for. I mean, if he's out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like he could be a league winner getting him in the 3rd round, right? Like if you get Cooper Kupp for 14 weeks in the 3rd round, that's a league winning.
That's 14 weeks without any nagging hamstring issues, though.
You're right, 100%.
100% Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, you're correct with that statement. But again, I cannot see them putting him on the field unless he is 100% cleared and like good to go. Again, like you never know, right? You don't know. But again, like I was willing to take that risk in the 3rd round. Like if it was the 2nd round, I wouldn't have done it. But at the 3rd round, I was comfortable with a payoff there.
Yeah. Too scary for me. Too scary for me.
I know it is. But again, I'll be in the championships and you'll be sitting the pine, baby.
All right. So what we wanted to talk about NFL, spicy, maybe just normal predictions, whatever you want to look at it, however you want to look at it. We will have spicy ones on here, but there will also be some just regular ones. But the first thing we're going to do, you have the odds in front of us right here, right?
I do. We'll go through best odds to worst for each division. Right. Then we'll give our division winner that we think will win.
So let's see them. So AFC North, we got the Steelers, Browns, Ravens, Bengals. What are these odds
Cincinnati.
looking like for them?
Cincinnati Bengals at plus 150 to win the division. Baltimore Ravens plus 210. Cleveland Browns at plus 400. And Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 470.
This is
What do you think, Mario?
Oh my gosh. This is disgusting. This is a disgusting comment. I don't know if it's showing right now. Sometimes it lags, but if I can show it, disgusting. This is now you're throwing the odds at me is making this a lot more difficult because like if I'm making a bet, it's usually going to be like, okay, let's just gamble a little bit, and I would probably go with the Browns. But who I actually think is just going to win this is the Bengals.
So let's do that. Let's do best bet, and let's do who do you think is going to win?
Best bet Browns. What I think is Bengals.
I'm 100% with you. 100% with you. I think best bet.
I think Pittsburgh Steelers is a fun bet too, but
I
would have to take huge leaps.
Dude, I don't get all the love that they're getting from the media and all this shit that George Pickens makes a couple catches and the whole world changes when George Pickens makes a catch. It's the most insane thing. You know, hey, I'm a Browns fan, so maybe I just got the glasses on, but I don't see it. I don't think they're going to be that great. I think they'll be an 800 or a 500 team just because they are always a 500 team. But I don't see the upside with them, to be honest with you.
The odds, the higher they get here, I may be able to try to do a quick math on one of these. I'm an idiot at the same time.
No,
if you bet the Browns, you bet $100, you win 400.
Correct.
Right?
With plus.
Yep.
Yes. When it's plus, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You'll explain this better.
Yeah. So when it says plus 400, plus 210, that's $100 to win that amount of money. When it's a minus sign, which we will get to, I think next, right? AFC East. Nope. Sorry. Buffalo Bills plus 120. So if it's a minus sign, we'll talk about it when we get to the minus sign because it's coming up. We'll get to it. AFC East, Buffalo Bills plus 120, New York Jets plus 250, Miami Dolphins plus 290, New England Patriots plus 800.
Jeez. All right, so
this is all FanDuel, by the way. This is all FanDuel, just for everyone's knowledge, because there's different lines for different books.
I assume if we're building out a bet here, we're going to do a little parlay. I would take the Jets, although the Patriots obviously scream just fun money. But Jets is who I think is going to win, and Jets is my pick here as best bet.
Patriots scream giving your money to Vegas is what that screams. I'm
sure the Seahawks were like, what, plus 1,000 last year?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, dude. I'm going Miami. Miami to win this division.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to get off to a slow start. I don't like the Jets' offensive line, so I think they're going to have some issues with that, trying to deal with that.
When did this nervousness happen with the Jets offensive line? Was it Hard Knocks? Is that where I keep hearing this from? Is that why?
They don't look good.
It's all Hard Knocks.
Yeah, they don't look good.
Dude. Relax.
And not to mention Aaron Rodgers tweeting at other offensive linemen saying, come here. Like it's not a good look.
Yeah. Yeah. That's his boy. That's his best friend. He bought him a golf cart.
Yeah, I don't think that's why he did it.
That's his best buddy.
I think he's sick of getting hit in practice. No. Is why
I'm not worried about this offensive line.
A little worried. I just think so. Again, for me, I think Buffalo is going to go off to a slow start with all the preseason kind of controversies.
For that actual win, I still think they make playoffs.
Yeah, we can talk about wild cards if we want to later. I think Buffalo gets into the playoffs. I'm not worried about that, but I think Miami will take the win. I think we're not giving Miami's defense enough credit with Vic Fangio coming in there. I think it's a massive upgrade from what they had last season. So I think their defense is going to be a lot better. And if their offense can kind of stay on pace and Tua doesn't get hurt, that's obviously the key. I think Miami can make some noise.
I think Miami's defense and the Vic Fangio upgrade is it's what I consider Brian Flores and Minnesota Vikings defense. Now I understand Miami has a couple more pieces, right? They just traded for Chubb.
Not even close.
Brian
even,
Flores,
like
the defensive.
I'm saying pieces wise. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
still have
yeah.
to
I
have the
think
pieces.
Minnesota has 0 pieces. I
That's what I'm
understand.
saying. Like
But like,
you
there's
need
really not
pieces.
like who's scaring you on Miami's defense outside of Chubb?
I'd have to look the route. I mean, obviously it sucks that Jalen Ramsey got hurt, but
Yeah,
I'd have to go through. I know
this
they
has
got
been like
lot
a fantasy darling.
pretty good.
Is why where this is coming from. This is saying the Pats are the least likely to win the division.
Yeah. So again,
if it was a higher negative number, it would be the most likely. But
yeah,
anything that's a higher plus number is the least likely.
Yes. So the higher the number with the plus, the least odds, the least likely are to win. The higher it is with a negative in front of it, the more likely they are to win. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs minus 180. Los Angeles Chargers plus 300. Denver Broncos plus 600. Las Vegas Raiders plus 1,700. So, Tiff, now that we have the negative here, this means you have to bet $180 on the Kansas City Chiefs to win $100. So that's how that works. So you can bet $100 on the Chargers to win 300, or you can bet 180 on Kansas City to win 100. So that's how the odds work with that. Yeah.
Broncos over the Chargers all day, huh? So I think. All right, here's the first spicy one. Then
where are you going? Chargers?
I think the Chargers win this division.
I wouldn't. I'm sure these lines. So I'll be honest with you.
Because this changes, right?
Shifted. Yeah, I'm sure these lines have shifted now that Kelsey's hurt. So I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but if you can get Chargers at 300 right now with Kelsey being hurt and really not knowing if it is a season-long injury.
Terrible take by you, Felix.
Yeah, I think Chargers is a great bet. Again, my money's going to be on Kansas City Chiefs. If I had to, so I think they're going to win the division. I'm not worried about that.
I think Chargers are going to be so good.
Unless Kelsey's out for a significant amount of time, you got to go with Patty Mahomes.
You got to go Higbee here. Play it safe. The targets should be there. No Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, week likely. 1, I'd go Higbee.
Yeah.
If it's PPR.
Yeah.
I think if it's standard, I would go Juwan.
So I think the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they're always going to be awesome. I think they're going to be in playoffs. And I think they've won the division probably the last 4 years, 5 years, something stupid like that since Patty has been starting. I'm not betting against Kansas City necessarily in the sense of like, oh, I don't expect them to do well in playoffs. They'll do whatever. But I just really think this Chargers team finally takes a leap forward. I really do.
Hate it.
This offense goes crazy. I've been hearing good things about. We have pieces on defense. We just need to gel together, which they do. They do have a lot of pieces on defense that just did not play well last year.
Yeah, they do. 100%. I'm with you. I think, again, if I'm betting this, I'm putting money on the Chargers.
But
who do I think is going to win? Kansas City.
So you're taking the gamble.
Until Patty Mahomes is not there, I'm probably going to bet Kansas City every year. AFC South. Jacksonville Jags minus 155. Tennessee Titans plus 310. Indianapolis Colts plus 550. And the Houston Texans plus 1,000.
It's the Jags all day. Now, again, if I'm trying to win 25,000 on this crazy divisional parlay, I would put the Titans here.
I agree with you.
The risky play is Tennessee. It's an easy Jacksonville here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty chalky for me.
This one's chalky.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville's going to take it. Again, anything can happen with Tennessee because they're such a
well-coached team.
Yeah, they're just a great coach team. Yeah.
And now D-Hop.
Yeah.
Which is maybe convincing me to do it more.
Can the defense hold up enough to be like the secondary? Can they hold up? We'll find out because I think, do they have Jacksonville week 1? I want to say they do.
You got an offer in your inbox, Felix.
But I'm with you, Jacksonville. If I'm putting money on it, I'm still probably putting money on Jacksonville because I don't like losing my money.
I do.
And
Give me the fancy parlays.
NFC North, Detroit Lions plus 145, Minnesota Vikings plus 260, Green Bay Packers plus 350, Chicago Bears plus 430.
Here it is. Green Bay Packers win this division. The Green Bay Packers win this division. Now, I think Detroit Lions are going to be really good as well, which either means we are getting 3 teams from this division in the playoffs.
In the NFC, yeah. I think this is a realistically to me, any of these teams can win it.
That's fine. It's a fair point.
I really like this division can go any way. So if I'm betting this, I'd probably throw a little money on Green Bay and a little money on Chicago. I think
Minnesota's
defense is going to be. I think Minnesota's defense is going to be terrible, so I'm not super high on them this year. For fantasy, I think the offense is going to be great. I think the offense is going to be great, but their defense is going to be so bad that. And if we look back,
this is a 13-4 team that we're both calling on.
I was just gonna hit that. Like if we look back on last year, right? They had 13 wins, but how many of those were one possession games, like last minute field goals, come from behind wins? Like you cannot count on that year after year. It's just tough to bank on that.
They have always kind of been that team, though, in previous years where they have this many games that they lost by one possession or one touchdown or less. Yeah. They've always been a close. They have a great coach.
Hey, I agree with you on that, but their defense taking a step back will make it harder for them to keep that up. If that makes sense.
I like the Packers.
I don't hate it. I'm telling you, like Chicago could surprise some people too. I really think so. And then you got Detroit. Their defense wasn't great last year, and I understand that their offense was awesome last year, and they got Jahmyr Gibbs, and they have
added some pieces on that
Laporta
defense too.
It's going to be interesting to see how everything works together. So I want to see Detroit. I mean, tomorrow we'll see. It's a big test with Kansas City. It's going to be interesting, man. Our defense. Okay, Tiff. Maybe I'll throw some money on it. If Green Bay's defense is good, then they can win this division 100%.
Oh, you allow them. You'll allow it.
It's going to be interesting. I'm just going to say this is going to be a very interesting division to watch because any of them can win it. If I had to pick a team, still going Detroit. I think it's just they're probably the best coached team in the division. Maybe besides Minnesota, but I don't like Minnesota's defense.
I like LaFleur.
I don't mind them.
We got one more. Do we have one more division here?
Couple more. NFC East, Philly, minus 115. Dallas Cowboys plus 175. New York Giants plus 700. Washington Commanders plus 1,300.
Oh, man.
I was surprised when I saw the Giants at plus 700. I'll be honest.
It's pretty low.
I'll be honest. Like if I'm betting this, I'll throw some money on the Giants.
This is the one to me though that I'm just like I just think the Eagles are far and ahead. So, and I would take the terrible odds and I'd pick the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Even though
they're just so good defensively, offensively.
I think the Eagles take a step back a little bit. And I think they got very, very, very lucky with injuries last year, which is very hard to duplicate year after year. So we'll see. We'll see how it kind of works together. But yeah, if I had to bet, I'm going with Philly. Fun bet for me would be the New York Giants at 700. Like that's a good bet to me. They were good last year, and if Danny Jones takes a step forward, they could win it.
I would be shocked.
Yeah, I don't see
notorious.
I don't see Philly not winning it. Yeah, NFC West, San Francisco 49ers minus 165, Seattle Seahawks plus 200, the Rams at plus 1,000, and the Arizona Cardinals plus 2,700.
So betting wise, I'm taking the Seahawks here, but I think because I think the Seahawks could win this division.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers might be experiencing some real troubles if they don't get this Bosa contract situated.
I agree.
With Bosa, though, that's probably an easy bet. But I'm betting Seahawks. I would take the 49ers to win it. Ooh, yeah.
I'm with you.
I would take the 49ers.
I'm with you on both, though. I'm taking San Fran to win it, but I would bet Seattle. If we were making like a parlay, stuff like that.
Yeah. Again, like when we're talking about betting, I guess we should explain that too. We're talking about crazy parlays that could get you rich is what we were kind of building when we were talking about this segment. And obviously you can't take the chalky number one team in all of those. You kind of have to just, hey, I want to bet $25 to win 2,000 or whatever the hell it may be. And in that case, that's the bets we're talking about. But like, if we were just, I'm rich, I have 10 grand to put here, I'm going to put it on my winner. It would be the 49ers for both of us.
Yeah. I agree. Well said, Mario. Well said.
Thank
Spoken
you.
like
Thank
a true addict. NFC South, New Orleans Saints plus 130, Atlanta Falcons plus 210, Carolina Panthers plus 360, Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 750. This is another one. I think any of them could win. I really do.
What's crazy? I think Carolina is the clear-cut loser in this division. I actually believe.
I would bet Tampa over Carolina.
I would too, but Falcons is my winner. Falcons would be my bet. That's how it is, dude. I'm in on the Falcons. I think Arthur Smith is going to just ground and pound, and his defense is going to be so much better than last year. And I hear all the Saints sleepers and all that.
This is funny. Yeah. Dude, it's crazy to me. Like the Bucs are, I know they had Tom Brady, but the Bucs are 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. Like the roster is still relatively good. Like they should be good. They're in a bad division.
Bad though. Their line is bad.
Yeah. Give me the Saints. Saints. The defense is good. They're always good. I think Derek Carr is a big upgrade at quarterback. I know we talk about how much we hate him, but I think he's a really big upgrade. They have 3 really good running backs. They have hopefully a decently healthy Michael Thomas. You got Chris Olave, my dude Juwan Johnson. There's weapons there. There's a good defense. They can make noise. If the coaching staff doesn't get in their way, I think there's enough pieces here where they should win this division. And I will say this, I want Atlanta to suck so that they can get a quarterback so that my Drake London and Kyle Pitts shares don't go to shit. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays itself out.
You need a new coach, then.
Yes, we do.
All right. So I also had on our notes, and we don't have the cool visuals here, but we kind of probably talked about it in that segment a little bit. And if there's any teams that stand out to you, name 1, maybe 2 teams that you think improve this season, but won't be competing until next year.
Oh man, I need a list of teams, dude.
And by competing, I mean playoffs, making playoffs. They're missing playoffs, making playoffs.
Yeah. I think the Saints what were the Saints? Can you pull up the Saints record for me?
I thought they were the division winner, ain't it? No,
Really?
Tampa Bay was when they.
I thought they sucked last year.
I think Tampa Bay won that. Saints were 7-10. But they would make the playoffs, is what you're saying.
Chicago Bears. I think they take a big step forward. That's one team for me, for sure. I think they're going to be way better than what they were last year. What was the Chargers record? I would say Chargers probably would be my other team that I think is going to do really well.
Chargers were 10-7.
Okay, well then scrap that.
They lost in playoffs to T-Law. Remember?
So I'm gonna go Saints. And I'm gonna go Chicago.
I think I had one on here that I think I could see taking a step forward.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Not the Bears.
I still think. Hey, I'm still with you on Green Bay. I think they're going to be good. I think it's going to be fun. Like that division is going to be fun to me, man. Like I'm going to be interested in every one of those divisional games, all of them.
Well, mine it was the Falcons. Is obviously you guys heard it on the last. That's what I'm taking to win it. I think they do take a step forward. I think they're the team that I'm like really excited to watch this year. Right now.
Also, Mario, let me just again, they won 2 games last year. I think even if they double
3,
their win total, was it? I think it was 2.
I think it was 3 and 14.
3. Okay, so even if they get to 6 or 7 wins, like I think Green Bay beats that. But I just think they take a step forward from what they have been the last couple years.
All right, so season-long awards. Ready for them?
Sure.
Put your thinking cap on.
Yeah, I don't like this. I'm not prepared, but let's do it.
Who
stupid on one of these?
Do you want me to go like? Do you want me to just start off hot? Who's winning MVP this season?
Justin Herbert.
That's my pick.
Whoops.
That's my pick. Justin Herbs.
He gets a new offense. How about this, Mario? Let's do this. Let's do who we think, and let's do one like super long shot.
You got a long shot in mind?
As Tiff's gonna hate it, Justin Fields. I think he has the potential to do what Jalen Hurts. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, I don't. But I think he has the potential to do it if he takes a step up passing. If he can run for another 1,000 yards and pass for 350 and get the Bears to the playoffs, I think it's doable.
Long shot, I would take Tua.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm with you on that.
Long shot, I would take Tua. All right.
So I honestly I said that to piss you off, so it's okay.
Offensive player of the year. Who would you take? You're gonna pick mine again? No way you pick mine.
Nick Chubb.
Ooh, I like that.
Or
one.
You know what? I'll give you 2 because it's rare that a running back wins it. Usually it goes to a receiver.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
I could see that one too. I think that those are the 2 like guys that I can't wait to see. I think Burrow and Herbs just light it up this season as long as Burrow's healthy. So I really like the Jamar Chase call there. Mine is actually obviously Garrett Wilson because I'm all in.
Okay.
The chips are moved.
That's a good. Hey, if you like it, you should bet it because those are probably some good odds.
I think it was plus 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
Throw $100. You win $2,000.
I have one. It's Justin Herbert, Garrett Wilson, and ready for the next question?
Sure.
Defensive player of the year.
Michael Parsons.
I did TJ Watt.
I would say Garrett. If Myles Garrett doesn't do it this year, he's never going to do it. This is the year for him to do it. You got a.
So did you just switch yours because you picked Michael Parsons?
Yeah, I'm switching. Let's go Myles Garrett.
You're going to Garrett?
I'll be a homer. I'll be a homer on this one. If there's one person we can like pin our hat on, it's probably Myles Garrett. If he doesn't do it this year, I don't think he's ever going to do it. This defense should be very like free in the way they let their defensive edges rush, and I think this is his best running mate with Zadarius Smith.
Sure, Artif. Coach of the year.
Oh man, dude, I don't know all the coaches, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty good with the coaches.
Why don't you go first and then I'll go?
Good, because I'm scared you're gonna snipe mine. I have Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell wins Coach of the Year this year. I think the Lions
probably gonna say that.
Are
Give me Doug Peterson. Give me Doug Peterson.
Dougie P. I thought you were gonna. I thought
he
for sure you were gonna pick Sean Payton. He might have, yeah.
So I would highly doubt he would win it back-to-back years.
He might not have. Hold on. He was definitely in contention with it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Brian Daboll.
You know,
there you go. You can take Dougie P. Brian Daboll won last year.
Give me McDaniel.
Oh, wait, Mike McDaniel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you think I was talking about?
Josh McDaniels?
No.
Daniels? Yeah.
No. Mike McDaniel. I said I have Dolphins winning the AFC East. If they win the AFC East,
There it is. Did you see this comment?
Yeah, I didn't want
to show it.
I didn't want to double up on you, but I think Campbell will be in it. Mike McDaniel.
I think Sean Payton will be in it.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right.
Which brings me to my comeback player of the year, Russ in the kitchen.
You can't do that.
Russ in the kitchen. He's cooking.
It's already decided before the season even starts.
What's that?
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh,
he's like minus 3,000 or some shit.
yeah.
Like I mean, it's a great story. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he literally just has to go out on the field and he's gonna win it, which is fine. Like by all.
But he might not get a ton of snaps. Not saying anything about. I think he barely made the 53. I think.
I don't think it matters, to be honest with you.
Offensive,
I think him just like showing up and being there like says enough where he's gonna win it.
What about offensive rookie of the year?
Bijan
should be a chalk. How do you take anybody else? I was trying to convince myself. Let me take somebody else.
Yeah, Bijan.
Who would be second?
CJ Stroud to me would be number 2. Maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. He could have a crazy season.
I think it's Jordan Addison for me.
I would say the 3 for me would be Bijan, Gibbs, and CJ Stroud. If Stroud can get Houston to like a winning record and look decent, or like a 500 team, like he could win it.
Defensive rookie of the year. It's gonna be a little bit tougher for you.
Yeah,
it's not something we talk about generally on this podcast.
That's the.
I could go with mine first if you want me to.
Go ahead.
I went Christian Gonzalez, which I think is kind of a long
great
shot.
bet. No, it's a great bet.
I think this Detroit defense does take a step forward, and it's guys like him. They drafted a safety. They have what did they call him on Hard Knocks? Rodrigo coming back. Like I think this defense takes a step forward, and it's going to be led by. I think he's a CB1 because they traded Okuda.
You know who another good one is? Same team, the linebacker from Iowa, Campbell. I think he'd be a good bet to win it, and you have to throw in
Philly's defensive end, Will Anderson. What's Philly's defensive end from Georgia?
I was going to say Will Anderson from Houston would probably be.
Yeah,
he's probably the chalk pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
Jalen Carter. Is it Jalen Carter on Philly?
Yeah.
He's a big. He was up there.
But he's D tackle, right? So
I think he's edge.
I think he's defensive tackle. Pretty positive.
Okay.
I'm like 99.9999% positive. It's probably going to go to a cornerback or a defensive end.
Oh, he is D tackle. My bad.
No shit.
All right. Who wins the Super Bowl this year?
Ooh. Give me Buffalo.
We didn't even take Buffalo. Yeah, just a sneaky dark horse for you, huh?
Mm-hmm. I told you, I think they're going to be great. I just think Miami will do enough to win the division. I think they're going to have a slow start, then they'll figure it out. And when playoffs come around, I just think we're disrespecting them enough where they're going to be pissed off. They're getting their defensive players back. That they like their whole defense was hurt last season. Let's not forget.
Yeah, Von Miller's.
This was a top 5. He's out right now. He's on the PUP list, but he should be back. They got Micah Hyde back. They got their defense was a top 5 defense until everybody got hurt. They're all back. Good coach team. One of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think this could be their year.
I think I'm going to go Bengals here.
Wow. You didn't go Green Bay?
I think the Cincy Bengals win this. Green Bay would be such a long shot. I'm trying to get Jordan Love from in Dynasty. I'm like one of the only teams I don't have him right now. So I am in on this, but it's Bengals. I love Joe. I think Jamar Chase, I think they're all up for contract extensions. I think some of those maybe get sorted out sometime this season, but none of them have yet. They're all going to be playing for money. They are going to be hungry. They have made it in the playoffs. They've made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. We sound stupid going against the Chiefs sometimes, but like we're not going to both take the Chiefs, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. When you were saying about the Philly thing, you're right though. Like, there's all the they can't make it back to the Super Bowl sort of nonsense going on.
It's usually the team that loses.
Yeah,
which
is also the Bengals technically are going to would beat like 15-year-old history right now of those teams never making it.
Mm-hmm. Let's call it. So it's going to be Buffalo, Cincy in the AFC Championship. I got Buffalo. You got Cincy.
I think it's going to be Chargers and Bengals, but that would mean Patty would get
Chargers
taken off his throne quick.
Wow.
It's got to be Bengals and Chiefs.
Dude. I'll tell you, Chargers they're a sneaky play this year too.
I like that team a lot.
I think they're a sneaky play. Their head coach is a moron, so it's tough to kind of dive into that. Who do you got coming out of the NFC then?
I think the Seahawks or the 49ers. It's that division. I think the Seahawks are kind of being disrespected as well because they're overshadowed by the 49ers. And I get it. I mean, the 49ers offense is always going to be great. Their defense seems really solid. But like the Seahawks defense, I think, is what's getting slept on the most. Everybody saw their offense last year. Their defense has a lot of weapons.
I'm calling my shot, Mario. This is going to sound...
Don't say the Cowboys.
I'll give you this. I'll give you... What do I think is going to happen? And I'll give you my long shot here for two things that you've already asked. I think it'll be San Francisco coming out of there.
What's your long shot?
I think it's going to be Buffalo, San Francisco. I also think that San Francisco will be led by by Darnold by the end of the season.
Whoa!
And then a team out of the West the NFC that I think could surprise people.
Are you going to say the Giants again?
The Saints.
The Saints? Really?
I think the Saints could make some noise. And if you want to talk about a comeback player of the year, Derek Carr.
I hate it. I don't think the Saints are going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be that good.
I think they'll be good enough. Their defense is good, man. And I don't think we're realizing how big of an upgrade Derek Carr is from Andy freaking Dalton. Like,
yeah, but is he an upgrade from Drew Brees 4 years ago?
We're not even talking about that. Why are we discussing that?
There's a lot of the same pieces on the offense, except for
who's coming out of the NFC. But it's literally Philly, San Francisco,
Seahawks.
The
Seahawks,
kind of.
The Lions,
kind of.
The Packers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you see?
No,
I
know it's open. It's open. It's absolutely
it's
open. I just don't know if it's open for Derek Carr. That door was shut.
Let's see it, baby. I'm rooting for him and his eyeliner.
All right, last. Oh no, I got two questions.
Oh,
I'm glad.
I'm a little sleep deprived tonight, to be honest with you. So I'm running on fumes, but I don't think it's that crazy of a bet.
Who's the worst team in the NFL? Who's getting first pick? You think it's Arizona?
I think Arizona's going to get the first pick because they got two shots at it from two terrible teams. So
the Texans.
Yeah. Give me Arizona.
Well, no. I guess the question I am asking though, is that the worst team?
I think it's clear that Arizona is tanking, and I don't think we're gonna see Kyler this year.
I think it's the Raiders. I think it's the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be so bad.
I don't. I think there's enough good players. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams,
sure,
Max
they all
Crosby.
depend on Jimmy G's health.
I get it, but okay, who would you rather have, Jimmy G or
There's
Josh Dobbs?
no, I get that, but I'm not gonna take the Cardinals also.
Okay.
It's the favorite. That's the favorite. I'm just changing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Usually the favorites, honestly,
Yeah.
like they're. It's.
What about
I think it's.
What about the Rams? Like if Cooper Kupp isn't healthy,
I don't know, man. I can't see McVay being the worst team, especially. I don't even. Do they have their first round? They probably do.
I don't.
I think they do, but still.
I'm just gonna
can't
say this
see
for
the
Alex.
Rams.
Give me New England. Give me New England getting the first pick. No, I think
I hope Mac takes a step forward.
It's gonna be Arizona.
Any surprise trades you think can happen this year? There's been a lot of swirls around Mike Evans. There's been some talks about Brian Burns. There's been some talks about
Chris Jones,
Chandler. Is it Chandler Jones on the Raiders? He was getting like locked out of the gym recently.
Mm-hmm.
There's Devontae Adams. There's Hollywood Brown. Like,
yeah, I think there's going to be moves. There's going to be moves. What they are, it's hard to say.
No, honestly, but just pick one that you think might.
I think Chris Jones is gone. Seems.
Any offensive players that you come to mind?
Like it. I want to say Hollywood Brown, but I think he's young enough where they're gonna keep him.
I don't know, man. 26.
I think he's young enough.
They're making it sound like, and this could all be smoke. They're like, Kyler's our quarterback. We're not tanking. Blah blah blah.
No, they're clearly tanking. And there was a great interview. Man, I wish I saved it because I wanted to send it to you. Where there was I want to say it was an ex-GM breaking down Kyler's contract and how it works. And he was saying that it's way more advantageous for Arizona to not play him this season and get rid of him at the end of the year, then play him and risk him getting hurt again. Because if he gets hurt again, they would have to fully guarantee his contract. Something along those lines. There's like different guarantees for him getting hurt and stuff like that. So he said that if it was him and what he thinks the Cardinals are going to do, he's not going to play this year.
And then they would trade him. Are you talking about Lombardi?
Trade him. I'm going to look it up
Lombardi's a big believer that he doesn't play this year.
It might have been Lombardi on McAfee.
Yeah. That was what I saw. But I didn't see him say it like that. I saw him. He believes that he absolutely won't play.
I'll try to find it. I'll send it to you. But it was very interesting.
But he would be an off-season trade, yeah.
Correct. I mean, you don't know. What if he's healthy? What if he
clears? You see quarterback move that often midseason, though.
And I don't think a team would trade for him because even if you trade for him, like. It's not like plugging a running back in, you know, like you got to get acclimated to the system, know your players. We saw what happened.
Plus coming off of ACL. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it just typically doesn't work for quarterbacks coming in midseason. But I think there's going to be some moves this year. I can see Mike Evans getting traded if they get off to a slow start. It's going to be a fun year, man. I'm excited.
I am too. We start in 2 days, and I'm ready for it. Did you have any more on the predictions? Any other things that you wanted to put out here?
I have 3 of a couple of my best bets for the year. Player props. CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 touchdowns, -115.
That's not bad.
No, the odds aren't great, but -115, I'll take it.
Are you parlaying these or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, most passing yards in the NFL, +450.
I think he won. He won that last year, didn't he?
No, Patty Mahomes did. But
did he? What? It was close then.
It was close enough. And if you think about it, Herbert was playing with broken ribs, didn't have his wide receivers for a big chunk of it, and he's probably going to throw the ball 50 more times than he did last year. I think that's a good bet. I really do. And then Nick Chubb, Nick Chubb, most rushing yards, plus 600. If this is the year they're going to have to unleash him. They need to win. They have to get to the playoffs. They're going to lean on Chubb. He's one of the best rushers out of the gun in the league.
Who led that? I guess it wouldn't be Chubb automatically. Who is leading that? Jacobs? Is it Josh Jacobs? Who's currently projected to win that? Because if he's plus 600, that means somebody's.
Yeah, I didn't look it up. I just looked at him specifically because I think he'll win it. But I didn't look up the rest of the league's odds on it.
Because he's one of the.
I don't think it's Jacobs. It could be Henry. It could be Bijan. Could be up there.
Henry makes a lot of sense.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. But Barkley's. Has Barkley ever led in rushing alone?
Dude, I think Chubb's a good bet. That's
what I'm saying. I think I like it. I was just surprised that it's plus 600.
Yeah, plus
is really
600.
what I'm getting
at.
Like
Herbert.
Like when you have CeeDee Lamb.
Parlaying Herbert and Chubb at plus 450 and plus 600. That's going to be good money on just those two bets.
Yes.
And I think they're both very doable.
Interesting. All right. So tomorrow, Robbie, we have our first DFS episode.
First DFS.
We'll do some start sits I think you already had some prepared. Anybody would feel free to submit them. If you want to submit some start sits to us beforehand, we will answer them for week 1. We only have 2 episodes.
Sorry, send them to us or just hop on and throw them in the chat and we'll get to them.
Yeah. Got 2 episodes for this week. We figured we'd take it a little slow as we get ready for the season. Everybody's drafts are done. Felt like this is it's a weird week. It's a weird week, right?
Before the storm.
Calm before the storm. Because we'll be here all year, 4 times a week. Man, it's a lot. And yeah,
we'll be pissed at me before the season started. We're starting
Robbie and I will be back. You are starting off great. We appreciate you, Tiff. You help us in so many ways, and then we're excited for your cheese all that podcast to come out. But for myself, for Robbie Bobby, we love you guys. Peace out. Thank you for watching our episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you aren't already following us on Twitter, check us out at DadBodFS.
We'll be posting all of our best clips and videos to all of our social media: TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us on there at DadBod Fantasy Squad.
Lastly, if you'd rather just listen, we make sure we post our audio of each episode on all the major streaming platforms. Stick with us all season long so together we can count our trophies and not our calories.